Everybody, and welcome back, and thanks for being here as we start off our first full week of April. And in doing so, I've come to a realization of sorts. The first time of the season when you hear a lawnmower fire up, preferably your neighbor's, it's a wonderful joy to your ears. The second and the rest of the times throughout the rest of the season, not so much, but that first time is always enjoyable. If you're going to be cutting grass, as some folks have, you're going to have to dodge some showers. And a lot of clouds in the forecast in the next coming days. In fact, no sunshine in the forecast and possibly above until the end of the work week at least. And I'm thinking maybe not even until Saturday afternoon are we going to see any sunshine, more so than what we saw today. And it was pretty much cloudy, and I suspect we'll see clouds and a good chance of showers and a few chances of some thunderstorms throughout every day this work week. I'll outline that in more detail in just a few moments. Thank you again for being here on this April the 6th. A couple of updates before I get to all of our headlines, of which there are many, and I've already got mapped out an entire week's worth of news. It's a good way to start off a week here on the program. Before we get to local headlines, though, just a couple of other matters that we'll make news of this evening in light of, and that is that a Florida man who so far has no connection to the Kentucky resident who shot him after he forced his way into his home has died as a result of those gunshot wounds or wounds. State police are investigating in Boyd County a fatal shooting that happened Saturday in the community of Rush. Kentucky State Police confirms that they responded to a call of a burglary in process, which resulted in a man identified as Gregory W. Coddington being fatally shot by the homeowner who pulled a weapon and fired at him multiple times. Coddington reportedly, per statements of the homeowner, forced his way into the residence and there became enthralled in a physical altercation, during which several shots were fired on behalf of the homeowner, who was not identified in this report. But Coddington, who is from the Sarasota, Florida area, age of 45, and an unknown connection to the area or the homeowner, died shortly thereafter. It's still under investigation, but appears to be no connection, but just a random burglary that turned fatal for the accused. And Kentucky State Police out of Moorhead say they got a call from 911 in Powell County asking for assistance with a shooting that happened on Echo Hollow Road in Clay City. Upon arrival, detectives say that 42-year-old Rosina Hood of Clay City had been shot. She was transported to the St. Joe's Hospital in Mount Sterling by Powell County EMS, and then she was pronounced dead at that facility just a short time later by the Montgomery County coroner. The victim's husband, meanwhile, 48-year-old James Hood, also from Clay City, was taken into custody. He's still lodged and charged with manslaughter in the second degree for his wife's death, while the entire shooting remains under investigation by Detective Virgil Rucker of Post 8 of Kentucky State Police. Other headlines following the couple of updates that I have for you in just a few moments will center around a lot of things happening at the Magoffin County Senior Citizen Center. That could involve a whole lot of folks, and you don't have to be a senior citizen either. I'll tell you more. And another Magoffin County family has lost their home and all their belongings due to a structure fire on Easter Sunday. And a bit more information about than you may have already heard about University of Pikeville President Dr. James Hurley resigning, a significant arrest from the Johnson County Sheriff's Department, and much more. But first, those two before-mentioned updates, beginning with updates on the Magoffin County Justice Center, still closed indefinitely, no real date as to when it may reopen. And I did speak with a clerk in the Kentucky Court of Appeals office earlier today, and I did obtain some new information in the ongoing appeal as it relates to the case of the Magoffin County Judge Executive's race. As I've mentioned prior, each of the three parties filing their appeal, that being Judge Executive Hardin and the Magoffin County Board of Elections, and John Montgomery himself filing a cross appeal, each having 20 days to get in their briefs submitted to the Kentucky Court of Appeals. That 20-day window was officially up last week. With the Easter holiday and with other calendar situations, I have confirmed that today those three briefs were submitted and they are in possession of the Kentucky Court of Appeals. However, one of the clerks tells me that there was a question surrounding one of those briefs. He did not have an idea at the time as to which one it was, but that one of them may have been insufficient on some grounds, and that the attorney which will make that decision will be back in the office on tomorrow. If it is determined that that brief is insufficient for some reason, it may delay the situation, all three appeals, another 10 days before they are brought before a three-judge panel. If tomorrow the decision is that it is sufficient and it will proceed, those 3 appeals briefs will be forwarded on to that same 3-judge panel. A verdict or a ruling, mind you, could be returned in about a week's time, give or take. That is as precise as we can narrow it down at this moment. And once again, it all time-wise hinges on that decision tomorrow by an attorney within the Kentucky Court of Appeals as to whether or not that one brief on behalf of one of the 3 parties will be determined to be sufficient or insufficient in nature based on what was supposed to be submitted. It's an ongoing report, one we'll stay on top of and keep you up to date first. And as for the Magoffin County Justice Center, well, it doesn't look like this anymore, but this is what it all goes back to. Of course, when on January the 8th, on a very cold morning, 2 sprinkler heads froze, burst, and then let loose thousands of gallons of water. A cleanup ensued that took several days. The ServPro company came in and did an entire cleanup of all the damaged or affected areas, and then a few weeks later, in another portion of the building, another break. An air quality control test last week determined that there was mold issues, as well as not just in the air, but also on some of those affected areas that was visually present. With the Easter holiday and the weekend, it's been a bit of a lull in trying to see something remedied. However, I did talk to District Judge Dennis Prater earlier today. He did confirm to me that members of the AOC and KACO were on hand and present today, as did Circuit Clerk Tanya Ward, and that they have ordered an independent air quality test of 100% of the building to be done tomorrow. The tests that came back positive for all those types of mold were just done in the affected areas for those water leaks. This environmental team should be here in the morning and conduct that 100% test of the building, also of which Judge Prater says they would hope to have by the end of business tomorrow. And if they are cleared, they expect that they will be out the remainder of this week regardless, and they hope to be back in and functioning in some fashion or degree by the 1st of next week, but that is not a sure thing in any form or fashion. Family court, which is to meet this Thursday, has been rescheduled. A jury trial, which was set to begin today, has been postponed. They're still looking for alternative sites as a backup to the entire situation. And as they are hopeful that they will have some sort of a direction tomorrow and a definitive plan, as soon as they know that, then we'll be able to forward some information to you as to when services will be available. Driver's licensing, I was questioned about that today by a couple of viewers, and some other services. So as soon as they get some sort of a direction as to what they're going to have to take, what steps they'll have to take officially, they'll know more about the services and scheduling, and we'll pass that along to you hopefully as soon as tomorrow's program. For now, much more to come on this program. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. At Lee's, where we cater gatherings big or small. Volunteers were called away from their Easter Sunday celebration, or rest if you will, to help a Magoffin County family, a woman and her grandchild, who saw their Easter disrupted and everything they had taken by a structure fire. It all happened in the Jellicoe community of Magoffin County yesterday evening, right around the 6 o'clock hour. While the cause of this structure fire is yet to be determined and truthfully may never be known, Josh Jenkins of the North Magoffin Volunteer Fire Department does tell us that his department responded to the structure fire on Easter Sunday, yesterday evening, sometime around 6 p.m. in the Jellicoe area. Upon their arrival, they found half of the mobile home completely engulfed in flames, and they were able to fight that fire back to some degree and also able to protect and serve adjacent structures, including another mobile home and a couple of outbuildings. However, the hillside on both sides of the mobile home were ignited by the blaze, thus summoning the Division of Forestry, who also responded to the scene. The homeowner, Cassie Blanton, says that she was home alone at the time. Her granddaughter was hunting eggs with family members somewhere else, and that she had just walked outside and a few moments later heard a neighbor yelling to get her attention when they saw smoke billowing from the mobile home.
Yeah, she wasn't home when it happened, thank God. It lost its laptop, its TV, its We game, everything. Gone. No insurance whatsoever. And I know yesterday I had turned the gas down on the pilot light, because I knew it was going to be pretty, and I don't normally turn it all the way off. I just turn it down to the pilot light, and then, if it gets cool, I turn it back up on 1 or 2. The main thing is, nobody was hurt. Everybody, got out there. I mean, as far as any lives, I had a couple of puppies on the porch, and I got them off the porch, so, they was okay, and that's the main thing. Nobody got hurt.
The fire department tells me they remained on scene to close to 10 o'clock last night before they could safely clear the scene of any dangers to any neighboring or adjoining structures. I have some personal information to pass along if you have any resources and would like to help. Clothing sizes are posted here on your screen. For the granddaughter, she wears a 14 to 16 in shirts and pants. As for adult size clothing for Miss Blanton, a medium to large shirt, 10 to 12 pant size, and both have a 7 to 8 shoe size. And all donations and support will be greatly appreciated. And if you have any items or need any other information, you can call 349-4454, 349-4454. And once again, everything, clothing, structure, and otherwise, a total loss for the family. And once again, if you can support them in any form or fashion, they are staying at a neighbor's. I think it's actually Cassie's mother's next door, and that is her phone number. And once again, I've been told to say on behalf of Cassie Blanton, on behalf of her family, on behalf of young Kaylee Joe, that they thank you so much for your concern, your support, and your prayers as they try to recover. Other headlines tonight will include the Johnson County Sheriff's Department, who has made 4 arrests and more pending. Now, it all relates to not one, but more than one theft, burglaries that took place in Johnson County late last week. These two in specific in broad daylight, 2 homes within just a short distance of each other, both burglarized during the daylight. Several items taken, including nearly 24 guns, a trailer, a load of lumber, and much more. So far, 4 individuals are jailed, and others are being sought after by the Sheriff's Department. Sheriff Price says that he, along with Deputies Pridemore, Fairchild, Webb, and Blair, and Constable Bob Hyden, all made quick work of a case thanks to some help from throughout the community as they joined together to investigate a string of thefts that have taken place in Johnson County over the past several days. Late last week, there were 2 homes burglarized in one particular area of Johnson County, and 2 search warrants were obtained. 4 arrests have since taken place as a result, and stolen items were discovered at one of the locations and since been returned to the rightful owners. They also found upon their investigation a quantity of drugs and drug paraphernalia. And inside a residence on Main Camp Branch in Thialca, they found a cache of stolen wood valued at $600 and a stolen handgun. The utility trailer that the wood was also stolen on, a stolen trailer, mind you, located by the team at a different area at Stone Cold Road in Staffordsville. Now, at the time of this press release, several firearms were still missing, and they were hoping to gather some more information from the public. As with this case and any and all others, you can and will remain anonymous. While this case is still under investigation, they also confirmed as of press time that some suspects were still being sought after, but arrested so far are 4 individuals, those being Danny Van Hoos, Danny L. Van Hoos on a felony theft charge, drug charges, and firearm charges, Jessica Spradlin, felony theft-related charges, Timothy Atkins on felony firearm charges, and Diana Hackworth, complicity felony theft charges. And I've just confirmed that 16 guns have since been recovered at a residence. More arrests are pending in this case as the investigation continues to heat up since this weekend's first major break in the case when those 4 arrests were made. We'll have more at a later date. The sheriff again wishes to thank everyone in the community and encourage the public to come forward with any information at any time as it pertains to any illegal activity in Johnson County, and he always promises that you can and will remain anonymous. He says now these 2 cases on Riceville Road he does not believe are connected to the Pigeon Church burglary that took place overnight several days prior. That too is under investigation by the Johnson County Sheriff's Department, as are several other cases, but right now these 2 look to be connected and only to each other at this time. But he does say the investigation is still ongoing and would not be surprised if it doesn't turn up some other evidence in some other thefts. More top headlines in a few moments, but right now it's time to tune in and turn over and find out what's happening on tonight's Magoffin County Farm Bureau-sponsored community calendar. Search for Sally and Brad. Sally and Brad have been missing, and their owners are desperately looking for them. Missing in the Grape Creek area, and they could be anywhere, they say. Sound like a rambunctious duo. Contact Tammy Roark at 349-6691 if you've seen Sally and or Brad in or around or beyond the Grape Creek area. Couple of reminders on tonight's calendar. Let me back that one up. The Royalton Dawkins Trail Committee meets tomorrow, 6 o'clock at District 3. Anyone interested in planning for a festival in Royalton is invited to attend. Call those numbers there in the bottom of your screen. That's tomorrow, 6 o'clock at District 3. Kearney Free Will Baptist Church is having movie night, family movie night, this Saturday at 6. The Passion of the Christ will be their feature. Admission is free. Pastor Butch Whitaker invites everyone to attend. The Elk Creek Free Will Baptist Church has set their 4th annual bass fishing tournament for Saturday the 18th at the Clay Lick Boat Ramp on Cave Run, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 743-2211 or 548-0118. Big cash prizes. First place pays $1,000 as always. And as always, if your child is 5 on or before October the 1st, they're eligible for kindergarten. Here in Magoffin County, registration started at our elementary schools today, continues all week for North, the next 2 weeks for South, and the next 2 weeks for Sagersville Grade School. And I'm always open for announcements, birthdays, anniversaries, and the like, and this indeed is exactly how you get them to us. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. A report that I learned of late last week has been confirmed this morning with the following press release from the University of Pikeville concerning the resignation of their president, Dr. James Hurley. In a rather short and to-the-point address for immediate release, the University of Pikeville issued the following statement this morning, saying that they, along with Dr. James Hurley, were jointly announcing that Hurley has resigned his position as president of the university effective this past Thursday, April the 2nd, citing personal reasons. Former Kentucky Governor Paul Patton, who is currently serving as chancellor and who once served as president of the University of Pikeville, will immediately step in and serve as interim president, while the university's Board of Trustees will initiate a nationwide search for a new president. At the same time, they say, they will keep the U-Pike community updated and involved in all matters. In its comments, the college also said that under Dr. Hurley's leadership, the university experienced record growth, added a College of Business, College of Education, and a College of Optometry, and created public, private, and global educational partnerships. They also said that the Board of Trustees and the University of Pikeville community wish Dr. Hurley and his family all the best. And in a letter penned by Hurley to his U-Pike family, he cites a great deal of love and pride for his past 6 years of service to the college, but says that it's after much thought and prayer that he must submit his notice of resignation as president of the University of Pikeville, saying he must prioritize what matters most, and for him at this time it is to put his family first and make a professional decision that is best for his family. He also says he's agreed to remain on as a transitional consultant until the end of the year, while Governor Patton, of course, transitions back into that interim role, and the Board of Trustees starts a new search. In closing, he asked that his U-Pike family keep his family in their thoughts and prayers as they transition to the next chapter of their lives. And not because I'm out of time, but because of a glitch in one of my pre-done reports that wasn't as done as it should have been, I'll have to forego an announcement tonight, and a whole lot happening with the Senior Citizen Center. They do have a health fair this Wednesday starting at 9 in the morning down at the Senior Citizen Center for 2 hours. A whole lot of services, EKGs, and much more open to the public. I'll tell you much more about it tomorrow, but mark it down. And tonight's low of 56 will be following some cloudy skies, a 70% chance of showers. I don't really see any thunderstorms out of it, and we've remained dry in the viewing area throughout much of the evening, and none of the moisture's made its way into. Some light forms of it will during the overnight, and then nowhere do we see the sun in the forecast. I'll tell you more about it tomorrow, but right now cloudy, southwest wind 7 to 16 tomorrow, 50% chance of showers and storms. I can sum it up by saying mostly cloudy, all the way through Friday, each and every day. Temperatures in the low mid to upper 70s, but a 40 to 50 to 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms each and every day. I don't see sunny in the forecast or in our future until Saturday, when we still have a slight chance of some showers and thunderstorms starting off your weekend. But Saturday will look nice on the end of it. Mostly sunny and 71 on your Sunday. More news starting with our senior citizens tomorrow and the headlines that I've already mentioned when I see you back here tomorrow night for more of Your News Today. For now, thank you so much for watching and have a good night.